Hey there, so today we're going to do an interesting video. Some people might think it's a bit superficial. Today I'm going to focus on 5 guitars that I just can't stand the look of. Again, this is just my personal feelings about these instruments. If you love them, fair enough, crack on, enjoy it. And to be fair, if it sounds cool, there's an argument to say who cares what it looks like. But ultimately, for me, when I'm there playing, I also want it to look pretty sweet. You want to look at your instrument and think, yeah, that looks pretty cool. And no, that wasn't an innuendo. Bear in mind, this is just my own personal thoughts. The only research that's gone into this video is what guitars don't I like to look at. That is the only research, alright? I'm also going to make it a list so that all these guitars you can find very easily online, or if you walk into a guitar shop. I'm not going to go with the ugliest kind of custom things because actually they're one-offs and I don't think it's fair, because I want people to have experienced these guitars whether they've been playing for 50 years or if they've only been picking it up in the past year. That's the only criteria on this video. There's no particular order here apart from number 1. Number 1 is definitely the worst. I find it really interesting why people find certain designs cool, and I want you guys to kind of let me know what you're into. So let's go with number 5. Now the first one, admittedly, is probably designed for kids, but it's the Vox Mark 5. Just because it's designed for kids doesn't mean it doesn't have to look cool. This thing, it looks like someone was out rowing, put some strings and some tuners on the end and said, yeah, kids will like that. You know, look at all the kids that live near the beach, they'll appreciate a guitar that looks like that. Nah, come on, Vox. Vox has some awesome guitars. Let's get that out there. They've got some awesome looking guitars. But the way this thing looks, I'm looking at it right now and I'm like, what? It's like some weird maths equation. But whenever I see those things, they've got to go. They've just chuck them in the bin, or send them to the local rowing team for spares and whatever. But Vox Mark 5, come on, man. I've never played one, to be fair. I don't know what it sounds like. Probably sounds awesome. And to be honest, I'll be up for giving one a go. But just on that real superficial, what is that design? There's nothing drawing me to them because of how they look. Yes, that sounds extremely shallow. Sorry, Vox. Right, number 4. We're going with the BC Rich. But to be honest, any BC Rich guitar. We'll go specifically the BC Rich Stealth. I just can't do it. I can't seriously pick that guitar up and think, yeah, I want this, I need this. I think it's some level of trauma from when I was first learning guitar in my teens, and I remember everyone who played a BC Rich, and if you're one of those people, you know who you are. You turn up to rehearsal and you see someone with a BC Rich, you know you're not hearing your guitar that day, and you're probably just going to hear the same Metallica riff chugging at horrendous volume. So there's probably an element of that, those experiences traumatizing me. But yeah, the design is just, it's too full on, too spiky, too many memories of people playing the same metal riffs over and over. Admittedly, there's probably some awesome BC Rich guitars out there, but we're talking about that superficial level today, and that's it. That is the look of those guitars. No, man, no, can't do it. So this is potentially a slightly controversial one. So number 3 is the good old Backa. Now Rickabackas, I don't really like the sounds of them, to be honest. So the sound of Rickenbackers never draw me in, but when I look at them, it just looks like a 100-year-old person should be playing them. No disrespect to 100-year-old people, you play what you want. But for me, if I'm playing a guitar, I don't want to look like I need to rest it on my Zimmer when I'm on stage. Now, again, I'm joking, all right? This is all play. This is just all my own personal bias coming out. Let me know if you love Rickenbackers. What do you love about them? What draws you in to play? What draws you in to play that? Like, I can't see it. I don't know what it is. There's nothing in me that wants to pick that up and play it. Again, I think it all stems back into personal taste, how you associate with different guitars, but sorry Rickenbacker, crack on doing what you're doing, but I can't do it right now. As a design, doesn't do it for me. Sorry man. Sorry Ricken. Now number 2, there's 2 specific designs here that I dislike just visually when it comes to certain guitars. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to cheat. I'm going to cheat because it's my video, and I'm going to cheat. You know, whatever. I make the rules. I'm cheating on this one. So I don't like guitars that are super neon, and I also don't really like the look of headless guitars. So number 2 is neon headless guitars. If I see something like that, I just can't. No. So I can't. Visually, there's nothing that makes me say, oh yeah, I want that guitar. Like all the guitars I've just mentioned, all of these guitars might play amazing. I'm sure some of them do. Particularly nowadays with the level of skill and availability of what's out there. But when I see something neon and headless, the only thing I want to do is chuck it on the fire pit visually. Honestly, if you play these guitars, let me know what they're like. I want to know what draws you in visually. What makes you think that is an awesome guitar? Unless, I don't know. I honestly can't think. Is there anything that makes me think I need a neon headless guitar other than let me look like the cheesiest 80s rock style? I don't know. But yeah, I can't do it. Sorry. Neon headless guitars, 2 and 1. That's number 2. And number 1. When I was doing this video, this guitar popped into my head instantly, alright? It's the Traveller guitars. The no-body guitars. The guitars that look like... Basically, do you know what it is? It's like a visual representation of inflation. The current inflation crisis we're experiencing. That's what the guitar version of inflation looks like. The no-body guitar. Someone had to sit there in a room and design that, and someone okayed it to be built and sent out to people en masse. And I don't know if those people were blind or they hate people who play guitar, but come on man, Traveller guitars. The best thing to do with those guitars is just get them en masse and destroy them. That's actually it. That's a joke. I mean, but visually that's what it makes me want to do. Again, if you have a Traveller guitar, let me know what it's like, because this is just all about visually how it makes you feel and your attraction to the design, and also the look of it makes you want to play it. Some guitars, the look of them make you want to play it, whereas the guitars that I've described for me today do the complete opposite, and Traveller is number 1 on that list. The thought of being on stage, and having a Traveller guitar, oh my god. It would be good for like some kind of comedy thing, I'm sure, but nah. Sorry Traveller guitars. I'm sure you have your place. I'm sure there are people that love them, and absolutely if it works for you, whatever, crack on. But visually, forget about it. Sorry Traveller, you can travel away from me. That's my pun for Traveller guitars. So those are my top 5 visually most unappealing guitars. Just whilst I've been doing this video, it's interesting why I've even come to those conclusions, and a lot of it stems from my early experiences of guitar and why I got into it. There's definitely got to be something psychological there, but then some of them I look at them and I'm like, no, sorry. But please let me know what guitars put you off straight away and why, And if you own any of the guitars that I just mentioned and love the look of them, also please let me know, because I'm really genuinely interested what might draw you in stylistically and artistically on those instruments, because for me they do the complete. If I see them in a shop, I bet, honestly, even to this day, if I see them in a shop, I barely look at those guitars, because they're just, nah. As much as guitars, you want a guitar to inspire you and help you create, and when you're playing it, the actual look doesn't come into that really, because you can't really see it when you're playing. But if you see a guitar lying there and you love the design and how it looks, straight away you're inspired then. So I think it does, there is a benefit. There is a benefit to the stylistic choice. So yeah, let me know your thoughts. I am going to do a follow-up as well about 5 of my favourite guitar designs, and I'd also love for your input on that one as well when that comes out. So yeah, please subscribe to see that video come out. But yeah, big thanks for watching this one, and take it easy everyone.